Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the hashtag TFR Motivation Monday Zoom. We are Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles. We are your hosts, and we are super excited to bring some amazing information on the other side of the world today.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's tell them about this YouTube channel.
Absolutely. So guys, every single time we do these calls or any information that we provide to you, we record it and then we upload it to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel. This channel is available and open to anyone that wants to use it. So please make sure that you go to Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell so that you get notified every time we upload new content. Very important. Stay plugged in.
Yes, it is. And opt in for text reminders. Text, go to 4848 and text LVFN, which is our ticker.
LFVN.
What did I say? LV.
Yeah.
See, I can't. I'm transposing letters. Go ahead. LFVN. Our ticker, by the way.
Yes, it is. And then you'll get the reminders from corporate before the Flip the Switch business opportunity presentations, before Success Masteries or LVA. You know, they'll keep you up to date and up to speed on what's happening next.
Yes.
Just go and opt in. All right, guys, this monthly marketing playbook is amazing. So almost everything we're going to be talking about here in the first few minutes is going to be found on the playbook. It's yours to use, and it's chock full of information, including information on our May product of the month, our amazing foundational product, Protandem NRF2. Go there to find all the goodies.
All the goodies. And don't forget to register for the July EA. You still have time before it goes up in price, because waiting only costs you more money. $89. Enroll in to register for the July EA. Get it done.
Yep. And you can still get all 7 of the new body care products purchased together for only $206 after you register for Elite Academy. That's the lowest price you will ever find them, and get it in conjunction with your Elite Academy ticket. Go and do that now. Not right now, but okay. So Level Up Your Life opportunity presentations 30 and 30 is going to be going through the 27th of this month. This is this week's lineup. It's always 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and it is always live in the Level Up Your Life Facebook ATM page or on Zoom. All of the information can be found in the Facebook group, or I do post it into the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page too, if you're part of Team Freedom Reigns. Use these, guys. This is where the people can get all the information. And Flip the Switch success stories Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You are going to be finding this now live on the official LifeVantage page, okay? Not the distributor page, the official LifeVantage Facebook page. These are being streamed out from the official LifeVantage page. Last week I made a mistake. The official LifeVantage page, not the official LifeVantage distributor page. Official LifeVantage page, okay?
Right.
And Activate Wednesdays, guys. Okay, so if you haven't been part of these, you know, it's been a little rough getting them moving forward, but the basis behind it is amazing. You can actually offer $10 off of a bottle of Protandem NRF2 for your old customers or old distributors to be able to reactivate their subscriptions. Now, it is for basic timelines. Like the first one was for people that hadn't placed an order in 30 days. Last week's was people that hadn't placed an order in 90 days. Now, this coming Wednesday, I think it's people that haven't placed an order within the past like 120 or possibly even 3 months. Or wait, that is 3 months. No, that's less. I don't know. It's a time period. So just show up and offer your old customers and distributors a discount. They'll love you for it.
That's that new math.
Oh my gosh. Ah, gosh. You want to talk about this for me? We love you guys. Thank you for loving us and putting up with our hilarity. Okay. You got it?
Ahead.
Okay, I'll take care of this. All right, so guys, LifeVantage Academy. This is the first one in over, gosh, more than a year now that we are gathering together in person in 3 different locations. So by the way, there's only 2 locations left that you can pre-register for now. Salt Lake City is full. So if you are anywhere near Phoenix or anywhere near Orlando, get yourself a live ticket and go and, you know, bump elbows or your virtual hug, or I don't know, in place hug, really hug people if you want to, but just go and be amongst people. But if you're not near those places, make sure that you get pre-registered for the virtual LVA as well. LVA this week is Success Mastery. So please do not go and look for Success Mastery on the official LifeVantage distributor page, because it will not be there. You have to register. It's $25, and then you will get sent the link. Okay, so go do that. It's very important. And these events truly are non-negotiable if you are committed to building a business.
Absolutely. Wanderlust. Get your 3 points from selling products and then just focus on being on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
We make points several ways here, but just focus on getting the minimum of the 3 that you need to sell products and then focus on the others to get to. We're going to Cabo.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So you've got a month and a half left for this push. Okay. So number one focus, you've got to have the minimum of 3 points for selling product and then ranking up, right? You got to get yourself ranked up in the maintenance points for next month. So guys, let's do this. Let's get to work. It's possible. Let's go. And then we want to make sure that you understand that when you do that 5 for 500 requirement to get the point for selling product for the Wanderlust, you also qualify for the pool as part of the bonuses, guys.
Kind of
it ranges. Yeah, it's totally, you get a point and you earn like anywhere between $100 and $200 in an additional bonus. These are the amazing leaders of Team Freedom Reigns that accomplished that last month. Great job. But they would all love to invite every single one of you to jump into the pool with them. Okay. So we've got half the month left. Let's get busy, get busy, get busy. And one of the best ways that you can do that is by going for the Shooting Stars Club. What that means is you enroll 2 new accounts that equal at least 100 in personal volume, and you've made the Shooting Stars Club. Okay. We want everybody in there. It's amazing. And we've been having a ton of fun getting information out to people and celebrating them. This is the April Shooting Stars Club. And we're running through this stuff quickly because we want to get to our special guest here. And then these are the people that have qualified so far for May Shooting Stars Club. Congratulations to Marjorie, Adonna, Odell, Helen, Barbara Ann, Dawn, May, Melanie, Mary Ellen, and Kanelli. Congratulations, guys. But remember, we're just over halfway through the month. Every single one of you can accomplish this. It's only 2 new accounts that equal 100 in volume together, right? And you hit the Shooting Stars Club. Come on, join the club. Let's do this thing. All right, so now let's jump right into the call, okay?
Yes.
So we have been doing a series, and we're super, super excited to highlight so many of you amazing leaders. If we haven't gotten to you yet, we will. Keep building your business and we will be getting to you. But these are leaders that are showing up big for themselves, their teams, and for their businesses. And this week is no different, okay? This amazing woman, Kanelli, and by the way, it's interesting because you'll see her name is spelled differently here than what you're going to see on the next slide, because she was raised or born in one country and raised in another. And so it's a different spelling in each one of those countries. How crazy is that? So the name that she goes by is Skalcoyannis. Okay, I believe I got that right. I hope so. But she is such an amazing example. She is a prime example of a pioneer. And you have no idea what these people in other countries do to be able to build their businesses, to be able to make sacrifices. I mean, Kanelli is on trainings in the middle of the night where she lives because she knows how important it is, right? And Dawn does it. I mean, I don't want to start naming names because I'll miss somebody and that's bad. But anybody that's in the UK, that's in Australia, Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong, and Greece, as you're going to see here. And just so you guys know, Kanelli has multiple places that she has citizenship. And so she's building her business with LifeVantage, even though she lives somewhere that we're not even open in, which means she can't build in her backyard. Okay, so I'm just going to stop talking here now. But just so you guys know, when we asked her to be on this call, she immediately said yes. She wanted to be able to share her story. And then we looked at the clock and we're like, oh gosh, 5 p.m. Pacific time is 3 a.m. Greece time. And so we figured out a way that she would be able to come to you guys to be able to share her story in the best way that she can with the time changes. And so please, everybody, welcome in this amazing rock star, Kanelli.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Kanelli Skalcoyannisi. I'm a Pro 3. I'm broadcasting out of Athens, Greece. And I'm just so happy to be here. And I'm so happy that Marcy asked me and gave me the opportunity a little bit about my background. So I went to school to study advertising and marketing. I really wanted to do performance, musical performance, but my Greek father was like over my dead body. And actually, this was a very interesting time. I grew up in South Africa, in Cape Town, Greek immigrant parents. My father got to South Africa as a 15-year-old. His mom sent him for a better life. It was post-war. It was really hard to raise a single son in those days. Greece was in poverty. And so he was shipped off to the tip of Africa. And I am blessed that I grew up in such a diverse culture. And at that time, South Africa was a very interesting place. So when I started looking for a job, I couldn't get, well, at least I was told I wasn't able to get one because they had started to move into a more affirmative action, which was a policy made in post-apartheid era to actually start to represent the diversity of the nation. So they were saying no more jobs for whites, and we now have to be putting in the black demographic into the jobs. So as a 20-year-old, that's not really what you want to hear. You like gung-ho, you want to go get a job. So I marketed myself to the agencies as a multivitamin. And I wrapped up these little boxes and I put a little shot glass and a multivitamin. And I made this card that said, if you're stressed and tired, which everybody in advertising is, you need a multivitamin. And my CV went off 2 days later to the person I knew would end up interviewing me for the role that I wanted. And the cover of my CV was a photograph with copy that wrote, I'm this multi-purpose power tool that can, energize your clients. I've got all these ingredients and I've, studied all these things and I'm just the person for the job. And that was great because it got me my first job 2 weeks on. And I was just really, I was committed, hardworking. I got my little raise, which was 10%. And I, somehow had the kahunas in those days to walk into the MD's office to say that doesn't reflect my effort. Nonetheless, they moved me onto a wonderful opportunity a couple months later, which then opened up doors in a new career. And so I spent 17 years in the licensing industry, traveled the globe, working for big brands like Warner Brothers and Disney and MTV and Nickelodeon. And so it was fun. It was really, really fun, very creative. I learned from the get-go, from my very early 20s, how to build businesses. But, as all things have it in life, life is a curvaceous story. I burnt out, and I was missing the soul, right? In these big organizations. I didn't see the point. I was like, well, what's the point of doing more budgets and more income and more profit, as an employee? And I did quit because I saw things that were happening in businesses I didn't agree with ethically, and firing a whole bunch of staff. And then, I was really like a team builder. It took me a long time to build amazing teams. And then, they bought, spending money on buying yachts and then firing people. And I just thought that doesn't make sense. So I left the industry and I became a jazz singer. And so I spent a couple of years, obviously went back to school as well and conservatory to study. And it was not easy. That was not an easy choice because I was an artist. I had to get the mindset right. I had to hustle now to get the next gig and the next job. And so, that was challenging enough. And I met my husband. And I was actually on my way to go and study in New York. Obviously, life has it to do more with vocal jazz. And I fell pregnant with my twins. And it, it was a game changer really, because now this was 2010. It was the beginning of the economic crisis that Greece had in 2010. It was, we were just floundering. We were raising babies, two at the same time. Both artists. I was like, coming home at like 1 a.m. from a hotel gig, and it just wasn't going to happen. So I thought, well, kind of two artists in this house. And so I used my other skills. I was bringing artists over from America and having them on tour. I became an event organizer. So, I just pivoted, right? Pivoted. You do what you have to do to keep the family afloat and all of that. And it wasn't easy. That was really a hard time. And I got into this, obviously I was self-employed, so always reinventing myself and finding new clients and looking at how could I keep my business and how could I come into some consistent income. So I did invest a lot in myself. I did do courses. I was jumping onto airplanes. I also struggled with my health. I had a hormonal breakdown after my kids were born. Actually, not after they were born, but quite a bit after. And it was devastating because I had severe fatigue. My mood swings were radical. 2 weeks before menstruation, I was just not functionable. I would cook like everything the week before and freeze it. So this was like a time of definitely reinvention, right? So I was starting to do a lot more studying, and the medical world had nothing for me, and I couldn't really accept their options. So I actually, learned a lot about the field of nutrigenomics, funny enough, and the power of using plants to heal. And so I went through that journey, and then I was approached by a holistic gynecologist who was tired of her rat race, and I encouraged her to go online and help more women. So we developed an online course together to help women to heal naturally from hormonal imbalance symptoms. And so, you know how they say that you will only really notice the dots, how they connect, when you go backwards. But all those years of like really kind of struggling as an entrepreneur and trying to find my way, and I was an online coach, trying to help women go online and finding out the whole world of online and social media, email marketing. And then I was doing this other thing, which was like health coaching, right? And of course, I had a history of all these other things as well. So multi-passionate, a lot of confusion that was always coming into my way of being. And then COVID hit. And COVID hit at a time when we just finally got out of our Greek crisis, right? My husband and I were like, oh my goodness, there's money left over that we can now put towards X, Y, or Z, right? We couldn't believe it. That was January 2020. And March, we swallowed all of that because that meant that my husband, that was a performance artist, composer, he was just about to launch his third album, a huge project with a symphony orchestra. And there was nothing that was going to happen now, right? No more performances, no more touring. He was at home in his slippers, and I was now back on the treadmill to try and see how I was going to do everything. So I got a frozen neck. And I always know when my body speaks to me quite loudly when it's time to sit and listen. And so I had to ask the question, like, what is this pandemic about for me? How do I serve more, better? What am I supposed to be doing in the world that's going to help, And so I got back two things. The first thing was to put on a online diversity, women's empowerment with some really phenomenal women around the world for inclusion, diversity, anti-racism. The second thing was create another stream of income, create another residual stream of income. And I immediately took action. I posted on a Facebook group of trusted entrepreneurs And I mean, I was thinking often, I mean, this is like a network marketer's dream, and I just stated exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to be revolutionary product in health, in wellness, it must be in the realm of non-toxic, or it had to be in the field of like environmental, something around there. I mean, I kind of wish I would have invented the dishwashing liquid that you can fertilize your lemon tree with, but that just wasn't me. So I immediately got back a whole bunch. I did put a PS stipulating, do not hit me up for any aromatherapy oil or any kind of that kind of product, right? I also did say I didn't mind what business model it was. So I was open to MLM. And I got approached by the lovely Barbara Ann Michaels, who I didn't know. And we got on a series of calls. She put me through the ABC and all of that. I met Cynthia Greenewald, I met Sarah, and I was like, holy moly, I'm home. All the years of searching, all the years of training, what I didn't realize is I was getting ready for this. Everything I had studied, everything I had done, all the odd jobs were preparing me for this, right? And this was like the moment. In fact, what I did say was, my golden goose has finally arrived. So viscerally, I got this yes in my body. I didn't understand anything about MLM. I had never done the business before. I didn't understand all this, everything they were saying, like you can will it down 4 generations, you can just build up this residual asset and the B quadrant and all this stuff was coming at me. I didn't know what it was. But I knew that I've said yes, I've jumped on the train. It was such a big yes that when I said yes, I got on the product. The first 3 weeks, I felt like I was back on this high that I used to have in my 20s, where you want to do something, you just go and do it, right? So in those 3 weeks of being activated, I decided finally to put my girls into private school, which is a big, big milestone for me. I was trying to get that done in 6-7 years, could not know how to do it on my income. And the second thing was we had to move within that short period of time so that we could have the girls in school and go on holiday and be ready for the school year. So, suddenly my life expanded, and this was just on saying the yes. And then it was like, well, I'll work out the details after that. So that was really, really, really big, of like how and why I said yes. So what was happening with my life at the time? So as I said, my husband was now not working because of the pandemic. My father, who is living in South Africa, had been through a series of his own trajectory, right? He had 2 armed robberies, and then his partner, he found out he had stolen a whole bunch of money from the company. And then when COVID hit, it just sent him into complete, bankruptcy. So he sold the family home. This is the home that he bought after, I don't know how many years, as an immigrant who left his country, went there. And it was devastating. It was like, I remember, getting the call and knowing and being gutted that I couldn't help my dad more than I had in the years before, when it first started emerging. And like this kind of financial freeze, like that I experienced in my own family, in my initial family. And then the next thing that happened was my mother, who was already diagnosed with an autoimmune, and this is because of stress, and her big stress always was finance. So she just got told she's going to retire on 350 euros pension. And it's just like the wall is caving in, right? And for me, I don't want anybody to feel that. And my big why is, if I can free more families, if I can help more mothers to free their families from financial. And of course, I already help women to free themselves out of the jailing of illness, and which also cripples you. So these two things, health and financial, like if I can free more people this way, and this is why it just like literally was ticking all my boxes. So I know, Marcy, like you asked about what were the struggles, right, that I initially encountered. So, well, besides the personal struggles, setting up or starting a MLM business when I'm living outside, or at least my country's not open yet. So that has its issues, you've got to find creative ways of getting the product. My product currently, my business expenses are a lot because I spend a lot of money shipping my product from the UK. So that is, those are the small things. Bigger things would be, and so for all of you that are sitting in countries that are open and you're building this business, and everybody that you encounter during the day, from the postman to your child's teacher, or you go drop your kid off at sports and you can meet the coach and you can share the business with the coach, or you can share the business with your work partner, or with anybody that you come into contact with during the day. I can't do that, right? I can't go see I'm bursting. I saw the chiropractor for my neck, wanted to share the business, couldn't, so those are some of the issues when for me, it's just, I know that I'm here on the planet at the moment to help free the earth from more toxicity. And I believe, freeing people from medications is helping a big load. So getting people's bodies clean and the earth clean as a result of that, I'm playing that role, and I'm going to do that across Europe. I'm going to do it, I'm already like activating people in Australia. I'm going to take this to Africa, so I can see the vision. I'm aligned with the vision. And the struggles, I think, some of the things that came up, which is beautiful because I'm learning, right? And thank goodness I have an amazing upline. I don't know much about this business, but I'm learning. I'm staying close to the fire. I'm connected into my upline. I'm connected into my team, attending all the events, attending all of the events. I can't stress that more. I'm attending events. I just did an industry event now where my husband said to me, "You got into bed at 6 o'clock this morning," so these are the sacrifices, right? I know that was one of the questions, like, what are you sacrificing? And I don't see it as a sacrifice. It's just something that you do to stay inspired, right? So I think turning Pro 3 was a big milestone. I won't forget it because I experienced the power of team and leveraging team. I experienced how everybody just comes in and supports and loves on you. And it for me was a big thing of like, I don't have to do this alone, like huge. The second thing though that I got was I met my inner critic really well. And this actually, one of my team members, he helped me to distinguish. 1 month after I hit Pro 3, I had hit the pool again 2 months in a row, but I didn't maintain my Pro 3, and more so where my disappointment was that I had invoiced really little in my business that month, and I was upset with myself. And he was just amazing at going, wow, you speak to yourself that way when we're all here admiring you, and you're like this rock star, and like, you can't do that. Like, you, and I just got it. It was like, I have no right, if I am, you know, if I am the divine, I have no right to speak to myself that way. I have no right to be so hard on myself. I have no right to be disappointed and upset in that way, you know. And that was a big moment, because a week before that, I actually, you know, I walked into a ditch and it was like, you know, I saw the metaphorical, you know, the metaphorical kind of explanation of that. It's like, I put myself in that ditch, you know, with my thoughts, with the way that I think about myself. And that was a big aha. So after seeing that and really getting this aha moment, right, this awareness, 5 days later, I get the test and I invite one of my childhood friends to an event, right? And this was such a bad rejection that it was like, oh, I don't like these MLMs, this pyramid thing, why they charge so much and everybody has to get a bit of money and da 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 da. And I was like, I'm completely over that. I'd rather people get money than, you know, money being spent on huge, flashy, whatever, you know, advertising budgets or so. But she continued to kind of then, you know, say, you know, why she, that I'd suggested, like, you know, the medical medium who does these amazing, like, plant-based eating to heal. It's like, I don't resonate with that guy. And then this doctor that I'm working with, like, she did, and I literally felt that she just, like, dissed everything in my world. Like, it was, and it took me like, I don't know, 12 hours and just to confront this upset again, like this, you know, this part of me that doesn't want to be rejected, this part of me that doesn't want to feel that whatever stories I was making up in the moment was like, oh, well, she doesn't respect me, she doesn't, you know. And I stopped to listen. And what I got back is like, she's going through something, just love on her. This is not about you. Just, she's going through something, love on her. This is not about you. So the next day, you know, she sent me what probiotics she was taking, and I loved on her. I said, wonderful, that's amazing. You know, I'm so inspired by the commitment you have to your health. And which, of course, is not the way I was feeling like 2 hours before that, right? I was like, I'm never speaking to this person again. It really took something to, like, drop into my heart and drop into forgiveness and to drop into my own forgiveness, right? It was just a big thing. So a day later, what I really got, and she came at me to ask me for some help with, like, she was going to come to Greece. And I just realized, this is something a friend of mine pointed out. I was like, these people are watching you. They're watching you on social media. They are watching you. And if you're out there and you are going to be doing things that are going to be kind of, if you're pushing your edge, it's going to be pushing their edge too. You know, a lot of the times people are not rejecting you. They're just fighting with their own greatness, right? So if we're representing stepping into our greatness, it's going to push something. So I just want to share that with anybody. If any of you are going through this feeling of rejection, which is it's not a nice thing to feel. So yeah, the other thing I want to just say is that my kids have been huge teachers. One of the events, I had them watch with me, and they were listening to somebody saying, yeah, and I see you sacrificing and you're up at night. So you're there, you're doing your work before somebody comes and while people are sleeping. And then my little girl tapped me on the shoulder. She goes, that's you, Mom. You're working when I'm sleeping, you know. So I really got that my kids are watching and they know that I'm at Pro 3 and they keep asking me when I'm going to Pro 4 and Pro 5. So I've kept them in the loop. And it took something. It took something to get to Pro 3. And I've experienced this, like, where I have a lot of time online, and during lockdown it was intense for them as well. And then giving myself this, like, breather, right? And then taking them to the zoo and just connecting. And so it's like trying to, like, it's like a bit of a seesaw, you know? So what is my vision for the future? I'm going to paint the whole world in this, like, yellow pill, really. I just see it as, in fact, I don't know, I got this really funny vision this week, which was the thing about the toxicity. I just felt that, all these pharmaceutical drugs are toxifying the earth. So this is going to help. And I'm just trying to see if there's anything I haven't. Quitting isn't an option, right? It's just not there. It's like you're in now and you're going to build, and there are no obstacles. Like they come, like one of the, all these like things have come, like, oh, where am I going to find people that are not immediately in my world? Like, oh, I don't have any people. Like, oh, if I put an LVO date, will I have people? And then just like the more I keep calling people, the more people show up, right? It's just incredible. So busting through those myths, all those, like, if you have your excuses, and they could be really valid, like write them down, because you'll dismantle them one by one. Like, oh, I can't really sell in my own country. I will then go sell somewhere else. Like, it's just there's always going to be a solution. So yeah, I think that's what I have to share for today. And I really am so happy that I've got this incredible upline. Staying close to your upline and attending all events, I can say, are two of the biggest gifts. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Did she blow your mind like she blew ours? Oh my gosh, guys. This is one that we will definitely be going back and listening to again and again and again. So many key points in there. I loved when she pointed out that all of the things that we have around us that we take for granted, like the postman, like the person at the store, like our friends next door, all those people that we could be talking to, she can't, right? And so she has had to have a bigger vision and bigger willingness to step outside of her comfort zone. And attending events, guys. Did you get that one? Attend events.
All events, yeah.
So if you're not pre-registered for LifeVantage Academy, get it done today. If you're not pre-registered for Elite Academy, get it done today. Because as you heard from the amazing Kanelli, attending events is vital to building your business. Oh my gosh, anything you want to add to this? Right? Mind-blowing?
Yeah, totally mind-blowing. But to hear it from somebody who's gone through so much adversity and so many struggles and having to completely re-engineer her life multiple times, but to be able to look at it from an ethical perspective and say, no, this just doesn't align with my values. I'm going to leave this and I'm going to go look for something else. And then to be so specific that what she wanted, and then just put it out there in a total stranger. Barbara and Michaels hits her up, they start talking, and it was what Kanelli says is, I've been preparing my whole life for this. Those are the kinds of things that if we miss things, they can be subtle, but if we miss them, they can be so monstrous in the missed opportunity, not only for that person, but did you hear what she said? She's going to paint the whole world with this little yellow pill, and she's committed, and I believe everything she said. So if one little insecurity in Barbara, no, probably won't reach out to her. What if she's not going to really, what if she's got something else? She probably already has something else. There's so many people, somebody already probably responded. But no, Barbara didn't let that stop her. And it was exactly what Kanelli has been doing, awaiting her whole life for. So Barbara, thank you for bringing that amazing person into the LifeVantage family. And just listening to her, she inspired so many people. I was moved to tears 3 or 4 times.
It was amazing.
That was amazing.
Absolutely wonderful. All right, guys. So guess what we just did tonight? We broke through a barrier, right? We figured out a way that no matter where you are in the world, we can highlight you. We can put a spotlight on you. And that's what we want to do, guys. So no one's off limits now. But thank you so much for joining us tonight on this hashtag TFR Motivation Monday call. We appreciate every single one of you. Just know that we love you, God loves you, and you are more than enough because you are. Now go out and fulfill your purpose. Bye, guys.
Make the world yellow, guys.
Yeah.